I'm Ayo Myresi.
And I'm Valentine. Good morning.
So when I say we, I actually mean she.
More
She
like
dissects sporting stories in a way that you've never heard before. Ladies and gentlemen, you love her voice, you love her analysis, and she's here with all the fire in the person of Tega Tiger Supreme.
Good morning, Lagos.
Tega,
Arsenal fans, our markets.
we are good.
Our markets.
Tega, you look good though.
I,
was saying
I
that to
always
you.
look good.
No, today you look specially good.
No, I
If
always
you'd
look
like to
good.
see Tega in her goodness, please go onto our YouTube page. We're streaming live on there.
Hey.
Smooth 98.1.
You have
And-
now insinuated that there's badness.
No. There's just.
I'm not liking this
please
thing
just
again.
Don't
dig.
Okay, all right.
Mm.
Tell us how else we can.
Yes, please. Through Twitter at Smooth981FM. That hashtag is LockerRoom981. WhatsApp number is 0809-444-0981 for your messages. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Smooth981FM Lagos.
Okay, so the first thing we're talking about, wait for this, is the Ladies in Sports International as they host the corporate sector. Now, the LIS Corporate Edition will be holding on the 19th of November 2019. It is another Ladies in Sports event that hosts companies and brands to inform them of opportunities to invest in the sports industry, especially in women's sport. It provides opportunities for networking and partnerships between the Sports Federation and in Nigeria and the private sector.
Yes. So the Ladies in Sports corporate edition came about from the Ladies in Sports conference. At the conference, what we basically do is talk to, we have the mentorship part of the conference. We have the part for brands to push their brands through sports. But we also realize that apart from brands that are actively involved in the Ladies in Sports conference or in a few athletes, not a lot of the corporate sector know what to do with the sports industry. They don't know where to invest that would give them maximum returns. They don't know how to use sports for CSR. So some people just sponsor one event and that's it, but your brand doesn't get pushed in the market regularly. And next year especially is a big year. The Olympics are holding next year.
That's an exciting year.
So there are massive opportunities from athletes endorsements to fan engagement to opportunities with TV, with broadcasting and all. So there's so much more. I want to say, okay, you know what? Corporate sector, here's what you can do to benefit from the major sporting event next year. And especially for women, because yes, if you think the sports industry doesn't have any investment, imagine how the bottom of the food chain, which is really the women, are. And shockingly, your only medal at the World Championships Nigeria came from a woman. And so we want to say, okay, these are the opportunities we have. These are the athletes that are going, and this is where you can maximize your investment. So we'll be hosting the corporate sector. Come one, come all. It's on the 19th of November.
19th of November.
Yes.
Do you have a venue?
At the Civic Center.
What time?
From 12 noon to 3 p.m.
12 to 3.
Yes.
Do you need to register? Is it free to attend?
For corporates, you need to register, no individuals.
Okay.
Except you're a private investor, we'll take your money.
So just for, how about sports?
The sports federations were invited,
Okay.
so we've written to the sports federations, so they are coming.
Okay.
So they'll be waiting for you. So the people that are the invited guests now are the corporate.
So you
sector.
meet.
You meet there.
Fantastic.
You find new partnerships. You look for which sports, because some people just think about it and say, I don't want to do football. I want golf. What are my opportunities in golf? And then I will tell you that Jojo Boy is the face of golf, and she's a woman too.
I think that's in a very good position to advise.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I will tell you that the Super Falcons may not be going to the Olympics, but the Nigerian basketball, the Tigresses, will be at the Olympics. So if you want the opportunity, so things that you would not naturally think of off the top of your head.
Brilliant.
That's what's
Nice
up.
one. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And by the way, Tega is the founder of LIS, Ladies in Sports International.
She's a hard worker.
Yep.
Nigeria's Golden Eaglets will be aiming to make it 3 wins from 3 matches as the team face Australia in Group B final fixture of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup at the Estadio Bezerral on Friday. That's today. Having secured 6 points to move top of Group B, the team will be hoping to secure another victory against an Australian team that would be desperate for 3 points in a bid to have any outside chance of qualifying from the group. The Aussie lost their opening encounter 2-1 to Ecuador before holding Hungary to a 2-2 draw.
Yes, so Australia, they're desperate right now. They have just 1 point, and they have already said, we're going to beat Nigeria. And I think they're also assuming that because Nigeria has already qualified, Nigeria is not going to put her starting 11. Maybe she wants to give the opportunity to other players. But the coach is also saying that I want 100% record. I don't want to say because I've qualified, I'm going to take my foot off the gas pedal. I'm going to push and see if I can get 100% record. So it will be interesting today. That match is tonight. Yeah. I just want to see the other members of the team, how they can do without Brother Amu. I don't want Brother Amu to play today. I want him to rest. Coach Manu Gaba, if you're listening to me, okay, his real name is not Brother. His name is Amu. But that's what he looks like. He always looks very eager to play, and he comes on the pitch with a lot of drama. He's just walking, but it's just so dramatic. Like, I'm ready to shoot these people, and he always makes a change. But I want to see other players. What are the other options we have? Because at the end of the day, under 17 is about development. So you want to know who else on this team can we push, and can we follow his career and see him through all the way to the Super Eagles. So that's what we want to see. So on that note, I think Australia has a little bit of hope that maybe because Nigeria is going to be with players that don't know each other yet or haven't played together yet, there's going to be that struggle. But that's the only hope they have. With what the coach has said, I still think he's going to feature a little bit of strength and then maybe some newbies. But let's see how it pans out for Nigeria. Okay. So Nigeria, Australia today. Nigeria's already qualified. Australia is hanging literally by a thread. So
we walk in, we just stroll into the pitch like anything.
I remember how we're having that conversation today about how people go into competition and how it's won first psychologically before
it's a mind game.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For example.
Okay, Lewis Hamilton says he can still get better. So Hamilton says he can still get better as he embarks on the weekend when he should clinch a 6th Formula One Drivers' Championship. Yes. Hamilton said, I never thought I would have 5 titles. If I'm able to get a 6th one, it'll be pretty unreal.
Yes, and he knows he can do it this weekend. Yes, US wasn't so kind to them last time out, but they're in the right form, I would say this, and it has to do largely with strategy. Again, Lewis Hamilton will be without Bono. I really feel yes. He's out for 2 weeks. He was out for 2 weeks. So Mexico, US, and maybe he'll be back for Brazil if he feels the need to travel. He should be back for Brazil, but if he has his strength back, then he will travel for Brazil. So it's Marcus Dudley again, going to suffer through. Because he's suffering. You think about it, Lewis Hamilton wins a race and comes to say, this is for Bono. And then the other performance, his race engineer just there. But I did the job this weekend. Why is Bono getting this this praise? But yes, it is something he can do. In order for him, he needs only 4 points, I think, to be confirmed the winner. So, barring any dramatic thing like him crashing out or his car having issues and it doesn't complete the race, I don't know that he will not be in top 6. So, and I don't know that he will not clinch the championship, but he's saying he doesn't want this. This is what happens to Lewis every time. He wins the championship and he can't seem to win any more races. He wants to end that. So because it's beginning to seem as if because I've won the championship, the season is over for me, but there are more races to be won, and he wants to be able to overcome that record. So I think, which is why he's saying that I think I can do better, because there is better to be done. Win the championship, but continue winning races to the end of season. It's usually a struggle for him. So I really want, for me, I want to see a little bit more competition. most of that is because I already know he's won the championship. The other part of it is I actually want to see more competition in F1 next season. So Ferrari has already given us a hint of what they can do. Maybe if they can top it up with better strategy, they will actually start giving competition. But I want to also see Red Bull, how they can make their own Honda engines work, because they did throw up one or two punches. It's just that it wasn't sustainable for the fight. So.
Okay, well noted.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's move on. Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic continue their battle for the year-end world #1 ranking on Thursday, as both players reached the Paris Masters quarterfinals with win over Stanislas and Kyle Edmund, respectively. The 33-year-old Nadal is already guaranteed to usurp Djokovic at the ranking summit next week, but winning a maiden Bercy title would also secure the year-end top spot before next month's ATP Tour Finals in London. He produced an impressive display to take his career head-to-head record against three-time Grand Slam champion Wawrinka to 19-3 with a clinical 6-4, 6-4 victory. Djokovic had earlier booked his last 8th place with a 7-6, 9-7, 6-1 win over Britain's Edmund.
Yes, so much as it was supposed to be a surprising season for some of the outsiders to come in, especially after Medvedev had won 2 Masters. The form of Rublev and Tsitsipas and the rest of them expected a little bit of a mix. The Paris Masters has really belonged to the oldies. Djokovic and Nadal still going strong. I think, in fact, Nadal's was the one that was annoying, because Nadal is struggling with a stomach ache. Apparently has to take some medication courtside, and he didn't look like he didn't miss a step.
Wow.
He didn't skip a rhythm, and he wasn't playing anybody but Stan Wawrinka, and that's the tough opponent to face on any day, but he just didn't miss a heartbeat. It was amazing the way he stood up to it. You could tell he wants to win this. He has won 84 titles, but he's never won this particular Paris Masters. And to think that he's been very successful in France, especially with Roland Garros. But indoor is not one of his biggest strengths. There was even one time that he had very good records against Roger Federer on every other surface and every other tournament, but when he came to indoor, Roger Federer was always bossing him around, because he really doesn't know how to play indoors. He plays better with nature, with the wind around him, with the sun coming down. He doesn't like all these AC things people are doing. He's not torturing his body very well. But at the end of the day, so he wants to see what he can do here, try and win this one, and then he will go to the #1 ranking before the finals, and that's also an indoor tournament. So another indoor tournament to try and perform at. So this is supposed to be the preparation in a build-up to that, and he wants to see how far he can go if his body allows him, because that stomach ache was one. Tomorrow night will be knee ache, groin ache, back ache. You don't need all that drama, but he's come through. Djokovic has also come through, and it's looking like, from what I've seen, the way they have both played to this stage, it looks like it's going to be tough. But first, Djokovic has to pass that hurdle of Tsitsipas. And Tsitsipas, like I would say, sometimes he's really tough, sometimes he's very easy. So I don't know which Tsitsipas we see today. I don't know.
Hopefully, let's see the mild one.
No, let's see the tough one.
Let's see the tough. Okay.
I want some mix-up.
Okay. Well, Quadri on YouTube says, we're going to Man U story later. How terrible Man U with Trashford continuously beats Chelsea baffles me. He scored 4 goals against Chelsea this season alone. Me, I am tired.
He's also wondering if he can attend ladies in sports.
Are you a private investor?
He's not one of the money.
All right. Okay. So, Chemobi Victor says that he's wishing the Golden Eagles the very best of luck against Australia. Please, Tega, tell them not to concede first today. And then please help tell Coach Manu Garba not to start Uncle Amo tonight. That kind need to rest. He should give other players chance to play also. All right, we'll talk about more and more sports when we come back from this break.
Are you listening to Smooth Breakfast?
No, come on. If you don't have money, we are looking for people that will invest in sports. Enough is enough. Who are all these people? Okay, we're off to Cool FM. Today is Copper Lagos, and I didn't wear bomb shorts.
Are you going?
Today is the only day I would have gone because I don't know that I'm leaving my house tomorrow or Sunday. Can't be going to that place without bomb shorts now. Can't be wearing full cloth and be going to. It's not sweet.
It's not sweet.
Deliciously refreshing. Listen up, guys that can't get on the gram until the wee hours of the night.
I beg you should carry this in stupid apology
Who?
and shove it where the sun doesn't shine.
Who is that?
You're about to read his story. What's the next story there?
Life is so much easier on the MTN side of things.
Ayo, what's the next story?
Eh?
What's the next story there?
Next story is so Ashley Barty.
No,
You
no,
want to take that?
no.
So should we just go
we can just mention that actually Barty was so that there'll be
Yeah,
women's sports. Yeah.
Shaka, Arsenal Shaka.
Mm.
Shaka? Do you want to do Shaka?
After that, we'll do Shaka. So just mention that, okay, that in the WTA,
Yeah, female one.
and then go straight to football.
So I wish I could please. If not, then there's no point. I might as well just stay for the 20 minutes. So I'm very late.
Of the new improved Bond Vita to the sum of required points. The winning school gets a cash prize of 3 million naira and a donation to an orphanage of their choice. Visit www.bondfactor.ng to apply today.
My name is
Legit.
professional wife fighter. Hotel, Adriel, anywhere where I see free Wi-Fi, I must to enter. No Wi-Fi like this. Lady T don't japa. See, as guy, direct access to hotspot. We'll show whether we go see later or never. But me, life not supposed get this kind of wahala. That's the why we Airtel new plan for data. Like 6 gigabyte for just 1,500 naira. I don't get more data. So take you Shakara.
Get more out of life with the new Airtel data plans, like 6 gigabyte for 1,500 naira. Dial *141# now. Data is life. Airtel, the smartphone.
I'll come back in 15 seconds.
Love music. Love life.
Hey, it just feels good.
You're the last. It's Smooth 98.1, Locker Room 981 with Tega. I am Myra Esther here.
Valentine here.
And we have this comment from Kingsley in Aja who says he's a first timer. Why are you people only on Unai Emery? What about Jurgen Klopp who deliberately wants to lose the match? We're getting there very shortly, but before then, just touch very briefly as Ashley Barty reaches WTA finals semi-finals by beating Petra Kvitova. What do you have to say about this?
Yeah.
Congratulations to her.
Congratulations. So let's see who wins. Like I said, I don't know who's going to win the WTA final. So
All right, then let's move on to our next one. Now, on Granit Xhaka, he explains his anger at us as Arsenal fans who booed him. Now, Arsenal captain Granit Xhaka says he reached boiling point following repeated threats to his wife and daughter as he explained his angry confrontation with fans on Sunday. In an emotional statement, he said he had been hurt deeply by comments on social media and at matches recently. The scenes that took place around my substitution have moved me deeply, he said in a statement on Instagram. I love this club and always give 100% on and off the pitch.
yes, it was it was an apology he needed to have given, if you ask me, the day after. But he took his time. Like I said, there's probably a PR team trying to put things together, not just for him, but also for the club, because he's still their player. And I think he's still part of the coaches or the manager's plan, which is why they had to handle. Well, they took their sweet time to handle this thing. If I'm the one, they're competent as far as I'm concerned. But he recognizes that at the end of the day, regardless of what it is, how you feel, you have still done something wrong. I usually hate to say this, but it's one thing to be a victim. It's another thing to go from being the victim to being the offender. And sometimes it's very easy to progress from victim to offender because of the way you feel. But I think at the end of the day, because of it is his duty and it's something he signed up for. If I would say this, if you were just a random person walking on the street and everybody was just abusing him, then, there's a way you react that people say, okay, I don't want to be his friend, but they will not hold you accountable for anything. But you're the captain of a team, and people were saying booing you.
Yeah.
I will get to the online abuses later, but people were booing you on the pitch, and then you make offensive gestures to them, take off your shirt, and you might as well just. For me, you've shown the character of Arsenal as a team, that they are not mature, which is what I've always been saying, that the Arsenal team is not a mature team. And then for their captain to start throwing his toys out of the pram because somebody was booing is evidence.
Not just booing, they also threatened his daughter and his wife.
Hold on, he reacted to the booing.
Okay.
The online abuses for his daughter and his wife, I would say, was something that they could have even handled differently. They didn't need to. What he reacted to on the pitch that day was booing. He was substituted and people started booing. That's what he reacted to. Now the online. So apparently from that, he's now come to say that that booing took it to the boiling point, because he was already upset that people had said things about his wife and his daughter online. Now, for me, that's very easy to deal with. It's not something you deal with on the pitch. It's something that he would have called to say that this is what is happening, and in as much as we are all passionate about football, we can't do this, and then report to the police. Those handles can be traced.
True.
Nothing.
True.
And that way, at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with bigger man. Those people that were threatening your daughter with cancer or your wife with murder, those people will go to jail. End of discussion. That way, you have your justice. You don't have to carry luggage.
Tega, in principle, this sounds great. But when you're talking about human nature.
Yes, the threats online came before this booing.
Okay.
Which is why I said, before he even got on the pitch, he should have called a press conference when he started seeing all these threats to say and spoken with the club, because apparently the club wants to take care of their players. So even their players' mental health. So look, I don't like this. This is the threats I'm getting online. It didn't start today. It's been over time. These are the threats I'm getting online, and this is taking it a bit too far. So you have a press conference. Arsenal has TV now. You don't even need to hire other reporters or journalists. You put out that press conference, and then you report those handles to the police and move on from there. So at the end of the day, for me, the apology was too late. In as much as it was comprehensive and it was well written, it was too late. So if I'm the one, I will not accept it. But then, who am I? I'm Tega in Nigeria. I'm not even an Arsenal fan. I don't pay for ticket, so it doesn't concern me. But I think it was too late. However, going from that Arsenal to the match against Liverpool, I would say this, like I said, the pendulum looked like it was swinging all the way to Liverpool. But it was a totally different game we saw on the day. Arsenal showed up. Played fantastic football, scored goals, 5 goals to be precise. The problem was that they also conceded 5 goals. And for me, what was upsetting was that you were leading 5-4, is the end of the match, and I will start from Unai Emery. First of all, as soon as he brought in Dani Ceballos, the first thing I said was, this guy is not in form. You don't need him on the pitch. Secondly, he cannot help you defensively. Need him on the pitch. What you needed to do was try put a player that will help you hold your lead, and then if on the counter he could help you create opportunities. Dani Ceballos, not in good form, has no speed, has no trickery. So he's not the kind of guy you bring on. For the same reason you took off Mesut Ozil is the same reason you shouldn't put on Dani Ceballos, because they're from the same basket or the same tree. It's the same family, so don't do that. So that was the first one, and then the second one, it's 1 minute to go. As a team, you should look at the time and know that they gave us 5 extra minutes. It's 94 minutes and some seconds. Let's try and hold on for 1 minute. So you defend with your life. For you to give Divock Origi the space to do a 180 bicycle kick and score a goal in the last minute of the game, like I said, shows that Arsenal is immature. So they did put up a good fight, but you can tell that character is lacking, and it starts from the bench with Unai Emery all the way down to the players. They need to sort it out. But Liverpool are through. Congratulations to them. Manchester United are also through.
So Arsenal is not yet through.
Arsenal has gone to their village. They're out. That was the end of the road.
Sorry.
Literally.
Sorry,
Manchester City is also through. So the competition, the Carabao Cup that people used to say wasn't a trophy that was what? Now everybody's hustling for it.
And therefore, Dixon on YouTube says Shaka's behavior was totally wrong. I do not support that behavior from the fans, really. Such behavior from the fans. You should have control over his emotions. Zero Femi replied and said, I don't think it was too late. He's human and was angered. He needed time to cool off.
And Femi is also offering you 10k investment if you accept it.
No, it has. If you go on YouTube, it's gone up to 25,300. We're having a bid. On
Oh,
YouTube.
fantastic. Thank you, Femi. You're so kind. Kingsley from Lekki says, I really don't think that is an adequate apology. Emeka says, Eaglet's kick and follow football style makes you think that they are not skillfully intelligent and might crash out quickly when they meet slow, skillful, intelligent players.
I hope you're not the only scouts there, because I need a scout to pick them to good clubs.
Manchester United, okay, that's we're gonna jump that. Barcelona defender Gerard Piqué has said that he and his teammates offered to alter their salaries in order to facilitate Neymar's return to the club this summer. In his words, he said, what we suggested to the Barcelona president, Josep Maria Bartomeu, was that if we had to alter our contracts, we would. We knew that there was the issue of financial fair play, and the relationship with the president has always been very good.
Yeah. Okay, so here is what Gerard Piqué is saying, and I don't think he's the only one that said. Even Messi has said that he felt that the club could do more to bring in Neymar. Apparently, some of the players want him, and again, this how there are two sides to it. The first side is again the players wanted him, and they thought that their club could do more, and their club didn't do enough. Especially President Bartomeu, my second friend, that I think should leave. And they're a bit disappointed. Piqué is even saying that some of them would have extended some of the money that they were supposed to collect this year. They would have pushed it to maybe the third and fourth year, or the second and third year into the contract, just so that they will be able to accommodate Neymar moving in. That's how much they wanted Neymar to come back. That's one side. That's for the players. For me, I felt that Barcelona could have pushed to bring Neymar in every day of the week and twice on Sunday. I don't feel that they did enough. I think that Bartomeu still has in the back of his mind how Neymar left, and is still upsetting him, forgetting that part of the reason why Neymar left is that his leadership is failing at the top, which is another reason why Neymar was able to leave the way he left. And at the end of the day, he was losing faith with the board, and so he decided to do something that he thinks they will like. But on the flip side is that these Barcelona players, they do something when they notice that their club wants to buy you. They do some things, it crosses the line of sportsmanship. They do some things that are so unfair. You know, wear you their jersey. they will invite you to their daughter's birthday. You know, outrightly pursuing you. Yep. Like the rules are written for the club not to chase you, but they didn't say anything about the players, right? So the players will hunt you down, and it borders on a lack of sportsmanship. Because think about it: if you were a PSG player, and another player were doing this to your teammate, it's very unfair and very. But they do it. That's the flip side of it to me. How far is too far in your wooing? Trying to woo a player to come. I remember what they did to Cesc Fabregas when they wanted him to leave Arsenal. So the way I remember what they did for Coutinho. So the way they can push you sometimes, that's almost as if it's a plan even with the club that if we do it, they'll find us. Honestly, if we do it, they'll find us. So players,
I'm suspecting that there's a conversation they have in the locker room as to that one.
That's what we want. Yeah.
Marking. So you know
but I think Neymar with them, because they already have prior relationship with Neymar, they really wanted Neymar to come back. Yeah. And so Piqué is saying, I don't think the club did enough. And I've said it before that the club didn't do enough to get Neymar, and this is just another player, agreeing with me.
All right, we have comments from Ogbeni Mafe, who says that as far as I'm concerned, Xhaka shouldn't have apologized. That wasn't an apology, and he doesn't care. No one has the monopoly of madness. That was on Twitter. And then Muyiwa on WhatsApp says, Tega is talking as if players are robots. See, emotions ran high. See, emotions ran high and he reacted. Both fans and player were wrong. I have seen Tega react to certain followers on Twitter when they tweet nonsense.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
I'm not a captain of a team. That's a duty, not a personal thing.
The message is not done.
Read the message. Read the full message.
So he says that I didn't see restraint there. So players are humans too. He has apologized.
He has not apologized. It's a duty.
Thank you, Muyiwa.
Being a captain is a duty. Like I said, he wasn't a random person. If you were a random person and this happened, but he's a duty as a captain. So there is a responsibility as a captain, and there is an action you take as a random individual. So me, I'm a random individual. If you try me, I will. I'm a random individual. I'm not your mentor.
At Tega Supreme on Twitter. She is the founder of Ladies in Sports International. So find out the work they're doing on Twitter at LIS International. Follow us at Smooth981 FM here on Twitter. And of course, the show continues. It's a Feel Good Friday. So stay tuned for our Lagos Talks 981.
He's lucky I'm not the chairman of that club. When I'd have sacked him.
He's end the broadcast.
Hey, go show how to end the broadcast.
Let me end it. Just press it.
end.
It's lucky.
End though. I made a mistake.
I will sack him.
Read the comments on YouTube.
No, if I end it, you end the comment.
Which one is it?
Everything. See how we're bidding.
You concede. You have won the bid.
So don't end. Real Fevi says don't end. Please.
Okay, guys, about to end now. Everyone say bye.
Bye. What type of bidding for?
How much you pay to be